just to give you, again, a little bit of background, when I left, or when I was in college, my initial goals were to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. And so what I did was I decided if I was going to be a CEO of a Fortune 500 company, what I was going to do is I was going to follow the track that the CEOs of Fortune 500 companies did. And so I did a little bit of research, and I found out that a good percentage, if not a majority of, those CEOs had gotten degrees in accounting. And they had gone to work for Big 8 accounting firms. Now, Big 8 is a word that was used almost 25 years ago. It's consolidated, and some have gone out of business, and I believe now they talk about it as the Big 4. So that was the track I was on. I wasn't a big risk taker necessarily. I was one that was fairly conservative. And accounting is about as conservative as you can get. I still had a little bit of entrepreneurial type of tendencies. I had started a number of businesses when I was a teenager, and I enjoyed that, but they were, that's all they really were just little ideas. And again, not enough to be able to support a family and to make it a career. And like I said, I attended some of the classes. In fact, one of the last classes I attended at BYU was one of those culmination type of classes. It was a case study class, and we had a professor, his name was Bob Murray, and he had started over 20 different businesses. And I remember I went to his class 2 times a day. I went to it in the morning and in the afternoon. I bet I wondered what he thought when he saw me twice on the front row in the afternoon and in the morning. He wondered if he was seeing double, but I enjoyed his class tremendously. And at that point, I started thinking, did I make the wrong decision? Here I am. I'm stuck in this track of being an accountant, of being a bean counter. And I wondered, but still, I'd already had accepted a job with a company called Pete Marwick back then, and it was I was going to go out and audit some of the big public companies, and it looked exciting still. So I went ahead and continued on that track. And I'll have to tell you, it was probably one of the better decisions I made, because at that point, I didn't have a lot of background. I didn't have a skill. And so I figured that was a good thing. My dad told me I needed to go out and get a skill in life, you know. And so I was developing a skill, and I was getting a good background. I was getting good exposure